Let me tell you guys about Belly Up Sports. Belly Up Sports is the internet sports bar. Go ahead and check out their website, www.bellyupsports.com, to read some great articles from great writers all across the country, from hockey, baseball, golf, soccer, you name it. Belly Up Sports is the premier, not your average website.
Manchester United, which good for them. They did win this past weekend, so at least there's some positive to give for them. But yeah, they did get eliminated from the Carabao Cup, which is normally most people would say they probably don't care about the Carabao Cup. But when you get eliminated in the earlier stages of the Carabao Cup, because more often than not you're playing against very low division sides, and for Manchester United's case, they got eliminated in the Carabao Cup to League Two side. That's three divisions below the Premier League. If you guys don't know that, League Two side Grimsby Town. They lost. They drew 2-2. Had to go into penalties, which now I have learned when everyone has already kicked a penalty, they just go all the way back to the beginning. I guess a lot of frustration came from this match because of the fact that the guys that Manchester United, which went on a shopping spree this transfer window.
Yeah, they
maybe
did.
not best performances for them. At least that's what That's what I've been seeing from everybody's complaints. Because, look, as someone that used to get trolled on for everything that Arsenal Fan TV says, I get it. It's hilarious. Don't think Manchester United necessarily has that kind of channel, but when not, you can't do that. Then just roast anybody that hashtag Manchester United at that point. But yeah, I know that it was at least frustrating to see that the big signings, which was Mbueno, Sesko, who you wanted, and who's the other one? Kuna.
Oh yeah.
Not the best performances, at least from what I saw. So the result led to further frustration on the fan base because once again, this club has essentially been in shambles since Sir Alex Ferguson left. I mean, you can have that one highlight where Jose Mourinho won you the Europa League. But
You mean when he got the tattoo? Yeah.
no, I mean, yeah, he got a tattoo for each trophy that he got.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can't forget that. Never forget that. Thank you for reminding everybody about that tattoo. And so if you're a fan of the club, more frustration. If you're someone that's not a fan of Manchester United and you're actually all for the downfall of Manchester United, the material that was given. I feel terrible because I've had some people say they just roasting Ruben Amorin, so he has his notebook, right? And he has a little tactics board.
Oh my God, yes.
If you guys don't know what a tactics board is most coaches most coaches have this. It's just a little
About
board
99% of them have the board.
with these little magnet pieces where you can create your team's formation, and you usually have pieces for the opposing team. So once you figure out what the other opposing team's formation is, you kind of do it and you start trying to draw up ideas of what you can do to play, strategies to go against that formation, those tactics, and how they're pressing, how they're moving the ball around. Are they going more wing focus? Are they trying to play it through the inside, go through the channels? All these things. That image of Amorin trying to figure out the tactics and all that. People started roasting him, saying that this guy has no idea what he's doing. The funny thing is that this is exactly what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So
basically,
I feel terrible because he's no, he's doing his job.
No, the thing is, there's a lot of people that have been using AI or have been using Photoshop.
Yeah,
and they've been putting different stuff. There's somebody who actually, and I love
there's
this
one
one.
of him rolling a blunt. There was one of him DJing.
No, there was one of him that it was Pokemon cards. It was a binder of Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I was
they're really just
bruh.
going to town with it, and I mean, this is why the internet's there. And then on top of this, the not the funniest thing, because I think the Ruben Amorin tactics board thing was still pretty funny, but the goalkeeper for Grimsby Town, the keeper that ended up obviously won that stopped. Well, I don't even know if he stopped the penalty. I think he hit the post. I did not want to replay that match. But Christy Pym, that's the name of the goalkeeper for Grimsby Town. He actually admitted that he was half fuming because he's in fact a Manchester United fan. So,
Oh, damn.
which is the most League Two thing to ever say.
You're the goalkeeper for Grimsby. Let's say you're like, you know what? I want to be like Edwin van der Sar. Like he's that type of fan. And you expect Onana, you expect any goalkeeper playing for Manchester United to be of that caliber. And then when you see that shit happening and you're the one that's actually the showstopper of the game for that, you're going head to head with a Premier League goalie from your favorite team that you're thinking this dude is probably going to be a better goalkeeper than I am, kind of stuff. And
Hmm.
yet it goes down. You're kind of like, yo, this is you're
And
like
to be
cheering
fair, it
and
wasn't necessarily
celebrating.
the best performance of goalkeeping that
Uh,
I've ever seen because those PKs were bad.
no,
Um,
I'm sure they were, bro. I don't doubt it at all. Like I don't doubt it. But what I'm saying is like, yeah, you have every right to be frustrated, furious, like whatever have you, whatever emotion you were feeling at that moment. You're playing the team like that, you know? It's kind of like if you play against Real Madrid and then you're playing with like your Sunday league team and then you win, you know, in a PK shootout. You're expecting Courtois to be like this badass goalie, and then you're just like, bro, like what the hell just happened?
yeah.
Like
No, and
you'd
I
be
get
upset.
the half human part, even though you just beat them, but it goes and obviously whenever anything goes bad, because also mind you, the last two performances for Manchester United before this was a loss to Arsenal and then a draw against Fulham, I believe was a draw or a loss. It just wasn't a positive
Uh,
result, but I
it
mean,
wasn't.
so yeah, so going into this against Grimsby Town, which I mean, I'm sure everyone would say it's very safe to assume it's going to be a victory for Manchester United. Obviously, nothing is guaranteed. Obviously, like every dog has his day, but this was a very easily lopsided performance. But I, very easily lopsided mismatch, right? Um, in all honesty, it should be Manchester United that has dominated the possession and just dominated the game. It did not happen to be that way, and I think
Well,
when
they. I'm
it's all
sorry.
there's always there's two things that you always see when it comes to PKs. You have the team that's like, all right, anything's possible at this point, or funny enough, anything is possible, um, or crap, I can't believe we just got into penalties. So as usually those are the two mindsets that have come into play here, and obviously Manchester United is in the mindset of crap. We just let this game go to penalties. Like at this point, who is it? Who is at fault? Like who's to blame to this? Like people keep trying to say that it's Ruben Amorim. I'm standing still on what I said when we talked about the Premier League. Like I think at this point you just have to coast it. You gotta just see like in some aspect, you kind of need to just see where everything falls in line. Because once again, I personally don't see who out there is like no one's gonna be able to fix this issue. I don't. Once again, I've said it. It's not a coach issue. It's an everything issue. Everyone's at fault when it comes to it. And I'll let you go off on your rant, but people are blaming Ruben Amorim, saying that the 3-4-3 formation isn't going to work. It's not effective. And it might not be, but at the same time, like Ruben Amorim, his job is to get these guys prepared and understand what their role are in this formation, a formation that clearly they just don't seem to comprehend too much on. But at the end of the day, it is the players that make the decision, have to trust their instincts, and have to do what they can to make the best out of the situation. Now, do I feel that they're really buying in on the 3-4-3 formation? Probably not. I really don't see it, and to me, I think there's something wrong with this locker room. Like I'm just gonna say, I think there's something completely wrong with this locker room. I think that the whole thing is, I think everybody's at fault to this point. I'm actually gonna give Ruben Amorim slightly less percentage of the blame because he came into this environment. The environment was already bad. It was bad with Ten Hag. It was bad with every other manager. Um, well, Ole seemed to be perfectly fine because he was using Cristiano Ronaldo, but
Yeah.
basically since Cristiano Ronaldo left, who seemed to have been like the most efficient player from this
Well,
Manchester
and
United
the
team.
and the thing is, Cristiano Ronaldo did play with Ole Gunnar like for a
Hmm.
little bit. It wasn't like a massive amount, but he did play with him for a
And
little bit.
then he went to Ten Hag, and Ten Hag didn't like him because he didn't press. Which I mean is a fair point. But at this point, I think that whatever the issues are with Manchester United, it's been going on for a lot longer before Ruben Amorin, before Ten Hag, before Ole Gunnar, before Van Gaal, going all the way back. Like
Dude,
they just
it's
haven't been able to recover from Sir Alex Ferguson. Like he was the culture of that club, and as soon as he walked away, it just disappeared. Whatever culture what that club had left, and there's nobody that's trying to keep everybody in line. And I think that that's really, it is a core issue. It is not a coach issue. It's not a well, it is also a player issue, and it's at this point it's the ownership's fault that they have let this just slide. And I know Ineos just barely bought Manchester United, but their job is to figure out what the problem is with this club, and they got to figure it out soon because this team looks like they can get relegated.
yep. And you imagine getting relegated, being a big name club, you're gonna end up being like Newcastle. Like they were in the League Two,
And
or
I
I'm
think they
sorry,
spent like
Championship
what
League.
150 mil this season alone, this offseason.
Yep. Yep.
So,
They're gonna be in debt.
and maybe they're not ready for a back three, but but I think that's where I would blame Ruben Amorin. If this team is clearly not ready for the formation, prime example, Xabi Alonso is a three in the back guy. Like he does a 3-4-3 formation as well, but he hasn't. He switched to a 4-3-3 with Real Madrid because he realized that this team is not capable of having a three in the back formation. Maybe
Exactly.
maybe in the future, maybe when he has more time with the team, maybe he'll go to that 3-4-3 formation. But right now, he needs to work with what he has. So for Ruben Amorin, he needs to start working with what he has, and I will put that blame on him for that part. But at the end of the day, the players need to understand their role and trust their instincts, and at the end, that's what a manager should be able to tell players like, hey, like I understand that this is what the tactics are and this is what we're gonna do. But if you see your opportunity, trust your instincts. Just go out there, do what you do best at, and if it gets us a result, great. I'm not gonna get mad at you. Like I won't be mad if you doing your thing either led us to a good. I won't like. Oh, let me rephrase. I won't get mad if what you did caused a positive result, even if it's going
And
against what my tactics are.
I have something to say on that note. When going back to the Xabi Alonso deal, how he went, he was like, okay, this team's not three back line, so I'm gonna do a 4-3-3. That's one thing. And this goes for
So how do you feel
everything.
about
No,
the
no,
3-4-3? Like just out of curiosity.
I don't like it.
Okay.
But let me get to the point. Go back to basics. Just like whenever you're starting something new and you don't understand what's going on, what do you do when it's when it's your job? What do? You ask questions. You want to find out what's the deal. You have a team around you. You have to ask questions. Be like, look, guys, this 3-4-3 formation is not working. What do you think we should do? Do you think we should go back to four? Do you think we should go back to 4-4-2? Do you think we should go back to 4-3-3? Like, what's like what can we do to help these guys? And then talk to the team too, man. Like you have a mouth, use it. It's
Mm-hmm.
not about you're gonna do what I say, how I say you're gonna do it, whatever. No. And it's also not, well, whatever you think is best, we're gonna go ahead and do whatever y'all want to do. Y'all do whatever y'all want to do on the field. We're gonna work with what that we have that. No. Set the fucking standard. You're like, all right, we're gonna go back to basics. We have to go back to basics because we're literally playing these small teams and they're whooping our ass.
How much of the blame would you put on Ruben Amorin?
It's all together. Like I feel like Amorim has to talk to the owners. Like he has to talk to the people, to the board. He has to be like, look, guys, like this isn't working. We can't just throw money at it and hope that everything's gonna play out right.
From like an American aspect, obviously, it's man. I mean, it's the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
When it comes to it, I mean, the ownership is just making these questionable decisions on the team.
Oh,
As a
dude,
matter of fact,
that trade.
recently traded away their best defensive player, and for honestly peanuts.
Yeah.
It was like for 2 first-round picks and for a 30-year-old defensive tackle. So like, which in hindsight, you should be getting the farm for a guy like Micah Parsons. Like this guy is he's a different level of beast. But yeah, I think a lot of the issues. It's funny because everyone's like, "What's the American version? What would be the American sport version of Manchester United?" And the Dallas Cowboys is always the first thing I think of because it's a fan base that has a lot of success, a lot of history of great success, great teams, great iconic players. You know, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith,
The coach, Tom Landry.
Tom Landry. Um, uh, yeah, the names go on
The
and on.
legacy is there.
Legacy's there, but the modern day of the team is just it's just not what it was once before. Now it's become and very similar like Manchester United because there's also a lot of Manchester United fans. And here in the U.S., there's a lot of Dallas Cowboys fans. Like you have Cowboys fans from freaking New York,
Yeah.
like that's how insane the reach is for the Dallas Cowboys. And I would assume not that I'm from England, I would assume it's probably very much the same with Manchester United. Especially when you think of the class of '92, just because of how popular that United team was. And I think that. Yeah, it's rough, man. Like to see the way Manchester United is now. Like it's rough to see. Like I get the frustration of fans. Like I am honestly very impressed by you because like I can talk about how rough it is to be an Arsenal supporter. Like besides the Invincibles, I haven't really had much other, which I wasn't even fully aware of the Invincibles when I became because I wasn't really. I didn't know much about any club football at that time at that age, but like so I didn't really know much about Arsenal's history until I just got into the whole depressing era. Whereas you, I mean, you came in with Manchester United with Cristiano Ronaldo. What do you do? What do you feel is the solution, or at least what should be going on right now at Manchester United? Like, is it time to sack Amorin? Do you feel like we're at this point now?
I do, sadly. Like,
Who do you bring
okay,
in?
well, that's the thing. Let me put it this way. Like I said, not to sack him. I feel that it needs to be a meeting with the owners, the board, the coach. It needs to be a meeting. He needs to talk to them, let him know that just throwing money around, let him work his way. Because for all we know, he's restricted in a certain type of way, not money wise, apparently, because they're just spending and spending and spending. The thing is, I think he's trying to find a formula that will work with what he has, and he hasn't found it. And I don't think he's gonna find it by doing whatever the hell he's doing, you know?
Absolutely.
And so I feel like he just needs, like I said, go back to basics. Try the basics. That I mean, it's hard to do so, especially like with the players, like I said, of that caliber that you're spending. And you got right now, you have young talent. You can mold it. You can mold the young talent. You don't have to rely on okay, you got to do it this type of way. You got to do. Sometimes you got to let them unleash, man. Sometimes you just got to let them. You can't just zone them. You can't just chain them to a zone. You can't just chain them to a position and then there you go. That's it. That's what you're gonna play at.
Something needs to be addressed. Like I don't know about firing anybody. Like once again, I think at this point you need to write it out. Which I know is the dumbest thing I could possibly say. But because who's out there? Who is out there that's enticing enough that can fix this? And I don't think that there's anybody out there that can fix it. There's names. There's probably some sexy names out there, but like. I once again, I just don't think it's a coach issue. I think that there is very much like a massive core problem in right now in Manchester United that I just don't think a new manager is going to fix because they've been trying to change managers and it hasn't worked. They even tried to bring back Cristiano Ronaldo and they destroyed that miserably.
I want to say Ruben is still there. He's still there, but he's barely hanging on by a thread. And I think he's like that kid who's like you don't want to talk to the big kids because you feel like the big kids are gonna scold you. You feel like they're gonna like that's the vibe I get from him when I see him just kind of sitting down and just looking, and I'm just like
I agree. I think with him with Ruben, the only thing I need to see him do is essentially is grow a pair because this isn't Sporting. Sporting is like I think a lot different because it's a lot of younger players. It's a lot of guys that are still like in the developing stages,
Yeah.
whereas in Manchester United, it's a big club, and I think the big club brings in a certain arrogance to certain players. Like I love how people. I don't want to get Barcelona and Real Madrid involved here, but like people that like hate on Real Madrid and saying that like, oh, that they're so snobby, and I'm like, you do realize Barcelona is like the second biggest, like one of the biggest clubs in the world. Like they have probably the
Yeah.
same exact mentality as Real Madrid. Like
Yep.
like when we talk about standard, Barcelona also has a standard. So like, but which is what my point is being with like Manchester United, even though the standard has definitely gone away, there's
Hmm.
still at least a mentality like you're a Red Devil. You're supposed to, come with this certain
Like with some I want to say some courage. I
some
want to say
courage,
some
some
fire
grit,
and
some pride.
yeah.
Like
Like
they're sure supposed to mean something to
and
you. But just to wrap it up in a pretty little bow for you, man. Like I think obviously you've said everything that you wanted to get back to it, but any last thing that you want to just get out
I
with
mean
Manchester United?
like to be clear, I don't want to get rid of Ruben just yet. Give him a shot, a clean shot. Just like I said, back to basics. If somehow this gets to his ears, back to basics, man.
How
That
tight is that leash right now for you?
uh, that's the thing. He has to talk to the board. He has to
Well, I
talk
mean,
to them and be
in your view, because this was the first question that we asked when we talked about the Premier League. How tight is that leash?
like I said, money wise, I don't think it's that tight. But maybe maybe strategy wise, they're keeping him on a tight leash.
Who is that guy?